All right. Welcome, everybody, to yet another exciting episode of the Offerin Podcast, where we're offering up great advice and great stories. I'm really excited about today's episode. We're going to be chatting with Ben Walkley, super interesting individual, and I hope you guys really enjoy the conversation. The goal of today is to pull out these nuggets on how to get started as a real estate agent. So if you're a new agent, what are the nuggets that are going to help you become successful? Part of this is on my mind because going through this Offerin journey, you get to deal with real estate agents day in and day out. However, there's something disconnected in my brain. I really don't know what it's like to be a real estate agent. So one of the things I've decided to do is to get my real estate license. Go on this journey, see if I can pass the test. I hear how crazy this test is, but at the end of the day, it's just cramming for a couple minutes, remembering it, taking the test and passing it. So I don't anticipate going out and putting a sign in the yard and selling a house, but I do want to really understand what it's like to at least get the license and then be able to relate on a deeper level. So that's what I'm doing personally. I want to connect with you guys as our users more and more. And so I'm super excited to have this conversation with Ben today. Ben,
yes, sir.
My man, so glad you're here. Out of all the people I know, you have such a unique perspective towards real estate. It's just like contrary to the norm.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of different podcasts and read blogs and see stuff from different coaches and whatnot. And you actually don't have a coaching business, which I'm thinking you have such a wealth of knowledge that that would be amazing if you did. But hopefully this conversation will help a lot of agents. And then also, you're not really on technology. You personally, you're not really out there doing stuff. So, but you have a very successful history and background in real estate. I'd just love to hear it. So give us a quick bio, quick as in however long, a minute or 10 minutes. But what's your history? What got you into this?
Okay. So 2023, my dad, I was graduating from college and my dad said, "Hey, do you want to buy a house?"
Okay.
And I said, "Yes, I definitely want to."
Not 2023.
2003.
Okay,
Yeah, 2003. Sorry. So, it was it was an estate, this burned out, smoked out, a house in Akron, Ohio. And I went and talked to the people and it was, I thought I was like awesome. Negotiated from 25,000 down to 23,000. This thing, I probably today, if you gave it to me, I'd be like, nah, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. Negotiator extraordinaire.
Yeah, I was so proud of myself for negotiating a horrible deal to a bad deal. That was the beginning. It was horrible. Everything went wrong. The contractors went wrong. The price was the wrong amount. Oh. I made no money on that. It was bad.
Was the goal to flip it or was the goal to...
It was to live there.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't understand anything about location or contracting or money or, I guess I knew about, my degree is in accounting and finance. So that part I understood, but just, it was just bad. It's the reality.
Yeah.
Then there was a house that burnt up the street and I wanted to flip a house, but that is where we bought that house and, it was the first time I like really dabbled in like lying about stuff. Like we definitely, we shortcutted, we made this house look good, but it was so bad. Wow. Like what we did to it.
Wow.
And then in the end, somebody bought that house and they ended up losing it. It was like, I think there's only one house I've ever sold where somebody lost it to foreclosure. I had like extreme guilt about that house for like a decade. Made a bunch of money, but felt horrible about it. Right. So, the third house is where everything really took off. And I will say that this is probably why I'm so passionate about, actually, we just talked about this. I'm going to just tell you the same exact thing with Aiden. We sold that first house. We needed a place to live. And I was working at an attorney office and
What were you doing at the attorney's office?
I was working
What
at
was
the
your-
title company,
Okay.
right? So my career has been in the title business. So I went, they had a closed bid process. So we got a property in, they put out to all the investors, hey, send in a sealed bid. There was an offer on this house, and I went to the secretary and was like, hey, do you think you could hold that thing up to the light and see if you could tell me what it looks like? So she did. She held it up. It was 70,000.
She did it.
She did it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So I was like, I mean, I was pretty cheap at that point in my life. I mean, like you know what do they say? Like I had saved like my first nickel or whatever. That was me. Like I was just tight.
Mm-hmm.
So I, in my infinite wisdom at the time, offered 70,100 because I didn't really want to, I didn't want to waste any money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know, a week later, I got the winning bid, turns out. Surprise.
Mm.
So the attorney calls me into his office and he's like, hey, did you cheat? Did you look at this? What a defining moment in my life. And I look back now.
Oh boy.
I owned it. I was
for
like,
you.
I did it. I'm sorry. So this guy, he makes me go call the other guy that lost out and tell him what I had done and tell him he wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like about this big, right? Fast forward a week. I'm now like at an all-time low in my brain. I'm just like, what a loser, right? I don't have a house. I'm living in like my parents-in-law's basement.
Okay.
This second deal comes along. 4 houses, 2 lots, 2 houses. There had been an offer on this. Maybe it was longer than a week. It might have been a month or something. I don't know. There was an offer for 90,000 on these 4 properties.
Okay.
I went to the attorney and said, hey, can I just buy one of them for like 45? I've got a little bit of money. I just need to buy a house. He says, no, they got all 4 got to sell. So I knew it was a known thing at that point. That
not a closed bid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was at some point it had been, but it was 90,000 was the current offer.
Okay.
And there was a hospital lien against the property, and the hospital was the one saying, hey, we'll take this much or that. The estate was just like, wasn't going to get any of the money anyways. Mm-hmm. So I went back and said, you sell them to me for 100. And they said yes. And like later on in my story is like where God like totally opened my eyes to his like reality, his love for me, his, like purpose on this earth for what I should be doing. Like that didn't come till way later. But at that moment, when they said yes to it, within a few days, the same day the attorney said, oh, hey, by the way, the neighbor, one house was by itself. The other one was a house with a lot on either side. Oh. He said, hey, the neighbor on the lot over here wants to buy this lot. He hadn't told me that before. I went and talked to him. He said he'll pay $18,500. This other guy that I knew, just a friend who's an electrician, and this guy lives in this house to this day. He wanted to buy a house, and this other house was perfect for him. I wanted nothing to do with it. I had no idea that these lots were worth $20,000, which is what they were worth. Mm-hmm. He was willing to pay $62,500. So at the closing, this guy bought this house for $62,500. This guy turned around and got this for $18,500. I was into a house and a lot for $19,000. I was willing to pay $45,000 for this house. Wow. So I spent like $15,000 fixing it up. I had no idea what it was worth. I went to the bank. The bank's like, hey, we'll give you a line of credit for $110,000. This thing's worth like $150,000 or whatever. Wow. And my mind was just like, and then later a builder called me out of the clear blue and he offered me $20,000 for that other lot. Wow. In one moment right there, like the value of telling the truth got like seared into me. Like, don't try to force something, manipulate something, whatever. Did I do that again? I did. It didn't like totally take at that point, but later, I mean, it took dramatically like that, like telling the truth part really, like I got that part, but it didn't stop me from doing a bunch of other stupid things. Like like this is a nugget for somebody. If you're trying to buy an investment property, I know we're talking about real estate agent, but if you're trying to buy an investment property and you have the thought go through your head, oh, well, I can make up for this on like saving money on contracting, like abort, don't do that. That is like a big red flag. Don't do that. You're going to fail on those ones. It's going to cost you. Okay. So I title business, all that stuff. At that point, I started buying and selling properties. And the way I learned is just by experience, trial and error. From there until today, I think we own 126 rental units. And I was in the title business all of that time, most of that time. And what was the first question?
This is give us a rundown of your history.
Yeah. So title. Okay. So I'm going to speed it all up.
Okay.
So I'm in the title business. Now in the title business, you're neutral. So you're seeing thousands of transactions. So I'm seeing people do it right. I'm seeing people do it wrong. I'm seeing people do it shady. I'm seeing people do it honest. I'm seeing all this different money flow from the banks. And I'm just absorbing all of this information. Some of these people, I'm like, I want to do that. I started doing what they were doing, right? Like it was just some of it. But always along the way, something God put inside of me that I think is where what you're talking about stems from is that at the end of the day, this is about people. Mm-hmm. It's about their home. It's about their life. Like whether it's a real estate agent or a rental or whatever. And like that has always been coming to the forefront of my mind. So 20 years of the title business, I just took the extra money that I made, and if a good property came along, I would buy it. That's in stories for another time. And then a 2.5, let's see here, 3 years ago now, almost 3 years ago, I sold the title company and went into real estate.
Okay.
And total transparency, I wish that I was like a better human than I actually am. At the point at which I started back into real estate, I was like, for so long, I was like, real estate agents, like, they don't get it. They don't. I was so negative towards real estate people. Wow. I'm short-sighted, right? So like once I started 2.5 years ago into this for real, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do now, and really started learning it. If you have a real estate agent that is brand new, they have a lot, like it's a hard work for them to make it. And if you have one that actually knows what they're talking about, it's super valuable. It's just it's a professional skill that requires a lot of detail of understanding in order to be able to actually advise somebody how to do something.
Okay. Let me dive into something you mentioned. The idea of real estate was not gelling with you. You didn't like real estate agents. You didn't like the whole, okay.
Oh, like,
yeah. Obviously not individual people, but just the whole idea of a real estate agent. What was it that you didn't like? What things stood
out?
I
mean, it was definitely people. Like, cause on the title company side, you'd get all these like high pressure scenario, people just getting mad about stuff. And I was just like, these real estate people don't even know what they're talking about. Okay. Like I had that kind of like chip on my shoulder. Kind of like
lack of knowledge, but yet.
Yeah, well, because but I didn't understand is that I had a lack of knowledge about what they were doing. They have a lack of knowledge about like finance maybe or title or like, but they have a very real knowledge of something else that I lacked. So I had that kind of like negative, I just didn't understand.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was,
so real estate agents themselves, do you feel, so looking back on this quick conversation so far, you talked a lot about character. Your character had to be developed.
Yeah.
Experiential things where you need to experience it, fail here, learn there, win there, fail here. If I'm a new real estate agent, like I mentioned, here in another month and a half, hopefully I'll be a licensed agent and gone through that experience. And again, now what? If I'm brand new, what would you tell me? Here's what you need to do. Sounds like another thing too is knowledge. So character, experience, knowledge, just absorbing everything. Sounds like couple things that you pulled out so far. But
Okay, number one, you need to have self-awareness.
okay.
So real estate people come to the table with something.
Okay.
I'll go back. So number one, you need to have self-awareness about what you have and what you don't have. Number two, you need to understand that for most people, you're kind of like starting a business or a self-employed business, and you're wearing all of the hats of like what it takes to develop a business. So you need to understand that some of those are going to come natural and some of them are not.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time to do that. So you need to have enough like runway in order to make it, because it takes time to get there. And number three, then I think this is the one that causes people to make it or not make it. You gotta, the simple way would be like, you gotta really want to do this. Like you gotta, and I would tie the character part in. It's like, I like hospitality. I like providing a great place, and I like people like moving forward in their home. Like I think the home environment is very important for families. Like it's very formative for children.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I said to you, think back to your room when you were 11 years old, you could do it.
Michael Jordan posters.
Yeah. You can go there in your mind. Like it matters. Was it chaotic? Was there fighting? Whatever. So all of that stuff it matters. So self-awareness. I remember this guy, his name's Pat Barman. He's up in Cleveland. He's a real estate agent. He was a banker for like 15 years. And I remember he was like so done being a banker. And we sat down and had lunch, and I was like, Pat, you've got it. You don't even know that you've got it. You're going to come to the table with one of the main parts of being you understand finance. That's a major, like finance, building, construction, science. That's a big one. Knowledge of the contract, how it all works together. I mean, these are a few of the main things you need to understand. Well, he already has like a full 1/3 of it just nailed. Mm-hmm. He quit his job like a week later and started. I was like, whoa, get your job back. He did awesome. Like he just immediately was able to like translate that into like solving a major problem.
Awesome.
So if you're coming into real estate and you're like, well, I've got great construction knowledge. Like I'm really good at that, but I'm like really bad at money. And I don't understand how the flow of transactions and how people blah, blah, blah. Well, you just need to know that about yourself. So that you're patient with yourself, because you have to develop these other skills. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say patience. You're dialing into that. We had a chat with a guy last week, and he was, a year and a few months into real estate. And he's like, listen, I have like $8, that I'm living on, and I'm just, whatever I need to do. And he had that commitment. He's like, I'm doing this one way or the other. How long does it take for an agent to make money?
It depends. I guess it
byproduct versus the actual product. So you don't get into real estate for the money. You haven't said once yet that, hey, this was what it takes. It takes money.
At the beginning of this, I was like, that was all it was about, was the money. Yep. But it led me down this like shortcut road instead of this longevity road. Okay. So how long does it take? There's obviously no exact answer, but I would say like from the day you start, like the first 6 months should be like very challenging for you. Like if you have an understanding of the 3 things I was talking about, you're going to build into some other stuff. But let me go back. If you are like 22 years old and have not had a ton of life experience, I would say like it could be challenging for you. You'd have to find a niche, right? Okay. You have to find a mentor. You have to find somebody that's kind of like, that already has, oh man, there's just such a good points here. Like if you're brand new at this and you understand this one thing, this will speed up the timeline.
Okay.
If there is a aging agent, just think about marketing. There's all these agents that, let's say they're 50 to 70 years old, and all the money that they have spent on advertising, goodwill, relationship, whatever, for their career. The work is going to be, the phone is going to ring for them because they've spent decades doing that. Well, they're getting older, they're getting tired, they're ready to transfer their business. a young agent doesn't have all of that. But that money all out here is already spent. So I think we talked about this before. They need to connect with those older agents. Okay, go back to being an agent though. So number one, know what you have. So like take you, for example. You worked for USACS as a recruiter, high level. So you have like a drive, you're relational. So you're really good at connecting with people and getting to know them. How many real estate investments have you ever done? Just your home.
Between my father and I.
Just you, like
me personally.
Went out there and bought something and said, I'm doing it.
As a flip, 0.
As a flip, as a rental, anything.
0.
Okay, great. Important to know that. Now, have you ever done a bunch of renovations on your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably 30.
Yeah. Lots of construction knowledge. Minimal understanding of real estate transactions because you've only been a part of them when you're buying your house.
Yep.
And lots of relationship. Okay, like you actually need to, there's some stuff here that's going to stop you from being trustworthy because you just haven't done it yet. Okay, so you need to know that. You also are, you have just skills, right? So when you're an agent and you're brand new, I would say one of your skills from knowing you is follow-up. You're great at follow-up. Like just, I don't know if that's a skill or what that is or care, but it's just like you're good at it. I'm minimally good at that. So deploying your skills, but then surrounding yourself with other people that have the skills that you know you don't have, right? Like just, even if you can do that with a couple people. I see a lot of real estate agents, maybe they're not disciplined with their money. And so, it's like commission, none. It's like very challenging for them to like be disciplined in their finances. And it's like, I'm doing awesome. When in reality, they actually are just breaking even because like their bills are getting behind or whatever.
That's another thing I wanted to point out is like just in being a real estate agent, statistics show that 75% of real estate agents, so there's 1.5-ish million real estate agents out there, 75% of them sell 5 or less houses a year.
Yeah.
And of that group, 49% of them sell 0.
Yep.
And that other 26% sells more to bring up that average. But
and this is not 100%, but my guess is that if you interview that top percent and said, hey, how many of you actually have some of your own personal real estate that you dabble with? Flips, rentals, whatever. I'm going to guess that number is super high because those are the people that actually understand
the flow of money,
the product. This is the product. I mean, the house, the land, the systems, like they become experts at they have stories to tell about like, hey, this is right. Like this is good. This is bad. Like watch out for this. This is this is what they really mean. Like because they're doing it's like very real to them. Somebody that has never bought a home that gets a real estate license to sell other people a home, like they don't even know about home yet. They've never had the pain of something breaking and they were planning to go on vacation. Now they gotta whatever. Like they don't know about it. Don't fix it. So yeah, I think a person understanding the challenges. Mine was I am terrible at marketing. I don't understand. I am getting better at it. I just like getting the phone to ring. How to like. Some people are so social. They can go into a room, right? They're just popping. People are like my kids call it aura.
There you go.
They've got aura. So everybody wants to be around them. They're fun to be around. They can almost get away with not knowing as much.
Yep.
Because
people like them.
Let's say people do business with who they know, like, and trust. Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm like, all right, I got to get a little bit more aura. You said there's like aura farming out there now. You can kind of realtor or something like that.
Aura.
Yeah.
You got some aura.
But
I have 0 aura.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah.
No, you got more aura than I do.
I don't know.
So just knowing, But at the end of the day, yeah, knowing that you lack things is, I think, actually in a healthy way, what will cause you to work on them so you can move forward.
Yep. So that was one of the big points, like knowing where you're at.
Yeah.
So that knowledge, lack of knowledge, and saying, hey, I got to take a status of where, my shortcomings. Is there a list of saying, hey, here's the, 1, 2, 3 things I need to know. Here's the, like 10 things that I have to know as an agent. And then you can kind of measure yourself, you know what I'm saying? So like one might be the finances, the deal flow, and how contracts work, and construction knowledge. And, is there certain things that you can think of? Again, if you don't know it now, it'd be great for our listeners to know. Like,
well, I mean,
if there were saying, like, if I'm a new person, I'm like, oh, okay, let me grade myself on these 5 topics.
Okay. So from my last 2.5 years of just kind of exploring this.
I mean, you've been in real estate for 23 years.
Yeah.
You haven't just been, okay.
Okay. So,
because you guys are selling north of 100 houses a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just 3 of you.
Coming to the table with I have a high construction knowledge. I have a high finance knowledge. I have a high transaction knowledge. I have the 3 things that a new agent, when they're helping someone buy a house, they need to understand these 3 things. There's price, there's quality, and there's location. Okay. And you're going to sacrifice on one of these 3 things. It's important that you don't sacrifice on 2 of them.
So the person buying a house.
The person buying a house.
Okay.
Yeah. So as an agent, when you really dig into those 3 things, you're able to help people get to their true motivation. Some new people buying a house, they won't want to sacrifice any of them. And so then they switch which ones are important. Let me give you for example.
Sure.
Let's say you want a really nice house at a really good price.
Sure.
What's the location of that house probably going to be like?
Far away.
Not far away. It's going to be rough, right?
Yeah,
actually, you're like, well,
far from where you really want it to be.
Maybe there's more crime there. Maybe there's you can buy the nicest house in a crime-ridden area at a really really great price.
I was thinking 20 miles from the city kind of thing, right? Where you have to get far out.
Or way far out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or take a different one. It's phenomenal location.
Yep.
Right? If you have to have a phenomenal location and you got to have it at a really fixed price, what kind of condition is that house going to be in?
You're going to sacrifice quality.
You're going to sacrifice quality.
Mm-hmm.
So that little metric of, and this guy said to me, his name is Tom Kaufman. He said it to me at a closing once. He said, Ben, because I was probably griping about something in life like I ordinarily do. Ben, you're lucky if you get 80%. Think about that. In life, you're lucky if you get 80% of what you were hoping for. Quit trying to have everything be perfect, right? So as soon as somebody can understand, there is no perfect house, there's no perfect location, nothing about this process is going to equal the magic sauce of all of a sudden you have this peaceful, blissful life. This is not true. That comes from somewhere else. It can actually help you live amazing days. If you pick the right house and have the right scenario, your days can be good there. You can enjoy your life, but it's not like magic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to make a decision, you need to be able, we always talk about helping people make an accurate decision. Where they're for example, let's just say location and quality was number one for them. Okay. Well, what are you going to sacrifice on? The price.
Sure.
You're going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's as long as let's say you're going to pay 20 grand over price, as long as you know that you're paying more for it, you're chalking it up to your vacation fund and saying hey, I'm not going to go on vacation this next couple of years. I'm going to be on vacation at this house because it's really what I wanted. Mm-hmm. That's a active decision. A bad decision would be hey, I paid what I thought it was worth and it was actually worth way less. Now I put myself in a financial bind. That's not good. Mm-hmm. We want you to have the ability to know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So as a new agent, helping people understand that little trifecta
that's great.
Is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't know how to tell quality as a new agent, well, you got to get some help. If you don't know how to evaluate the pricing of house, you need to get some help. If you don't know how to, if you don't understand contracts and all the levers that you can pull, let me give you a great example. someone has a house in an estate. Okay. Let's say there's some problems with it. One person offers $200,000, $20,000 earnest money, no inspections, cash. Then the person knows there's the owner's like, that's an estate. Like, it's not their house. They don't know. Somebody else offers $250,000 with financing and $5,000 earnest money and inspections. There's $50,000 difference there. People might take this one, right? Because they're unsure of like what all of this equals. Like, is the deal going to fall apart? Is it whatever? And the key factors over here were big earnest money, no inspections, right? Like,
sounded easier.
This person over here is saying like, this is a lock. We're locked and loaded here. This one's like, well, maybe it's not going to work out. Well, that has everything to do with the seller. You have to understand as a buyer who you're dealing with as the seller. And that's a key to negotiating. So that's like nuancy. So like, as a new agent, you got to find somebody that really understands like the different kinds of sellers. Actually, if people could read our book, we like describe this in there, the different, and I learned that at the title company. I'm like, oh, it's actually categorical. Like, if you have Mrs. Smith who like is pristine with her house, and you do a home inspection on her house and find something, you can ask her to fix it. It's a point of pride for her. Like, she will fix that. Don't ask her to reduce the price. Ask her to fix it, right? Jim Smith, if his house is, like my kids say, or maybe I say, buns.
It's buns.
Right? Yes. And just a bunch of stuff. Jim, who has not fixed anything in the last 20 years, you don't ask Jim to fix anything. You ask Jim to just lop off 10, 15, 20 grand off the price. And he's like, sure, I don't care. That was more than I wanted anyways. I'll sign it up, right? Like, you have to know who you're dealing with as a seller.
Very good.
Same thing with when you're selling a house. You need to understand who these buyers are. And that comes with time. And
that's great.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up the conversation. Okay. Now, just few things about you and your brokerage.
Okay. So,
what's the name of it?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
how can people find you?
Okay. Yeah. ExactlyUSA.com. And our goals for this next 12 months are just to become known. You know, we have a flat rate. We have a package. We have these different packages, not instead of the traditional percentage model. We have different flat rate packages. We have salaried agents. We have we use Offerin, which is wonderful. Yeah. And you know, we have a real team-based approach. Like, there's not everybody. We all work together on these files, so we want to become known. I mean, we're a small company, and we're biting against the grain a little bit. But I used to think it was a negative thing, but actually, I think we're leading. You know, Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, they're all doing the same thing on a national level that what we're trying to do at a local level. Wow. And I just think the way the internet is going, what Zillow is doing, I think actually things are going to head in the direction that we're already heading. So it's not a negative thing towards our competition. I think it's just like hey, this is the future. Like, this is the way things are going to go. These houses are so visible, so much data is available that people are so much more educated. The consumers are so much more educated because of the available information and, you know, all the social media and everything. Sure. So
are you guys looking to hire agents?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, I might be looking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just kidding. But you know, where would you be looking? Northeast Ohio specifically?
Yeah, I think our goal would be to start seeing more in the Cleveland market and in the Columbus market. We would like to have some agents in those markets.
Okay, great. You guys are one of the top users of Offerin. That's, you know, you guys are super users. Yeah. Tell me why you guys use it.
We couldn't function without it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, our value on our weekends and having a life and not being bombarded with offers from the houses we're selling is we can actually set things up with our clients and say like, hey, here's the software. Here's all the things that are going to happen. And it relationally manages the sale of the houses during that offer process, which can be very disruptive. And then it's huge time saving for us. And then it actually educates our clients about all their offers. And so then our ability to just deliver our expertise, which is our just professionalism, is all that is needed, which is what's the thing of value anyways. All of this like rigmarole of like having to like do paperwork and stuff is just like, it's not worth it. Like we just can focus on the meat and potatoes and the clients love it.
So the technology helps you guys leverage efficiencies.
Oh yeah.
Decrease administrative time.
Yep.
You're saying weekends, right? Get your time and focus on what you guys wanted to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But a lot of times people are looking to buy a house on the weekend.
Sure.
And so they're wanting to write up an offer and it's just simply like, hey, put it in there. It's going to go right to the seller. It's great for the buyer's agents because the seller gets it. Like they are going to get it in front of the seller.
And immediately too.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait maybe a day or a couple of days or hours.
And I'm excited about the new integration with .loop. When that's all done, that'll be really slick. I think just make everything even more streamlined.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yep.
Ben, you're awesome. I'm sure we could have talked for hours. We'll have you continuously on, perpetually on. But you guys, we are super excited for this conversation. Just to recap, all the new agents out there, there's some great nuggets in here. Sounds like, character, learning, experience, just knowing your shortcomings on top of the model of how you can connect with buyers and sellers and what motivates them and be a great agent. So wishing you all the best in your careers and wishing that we can take some of these nuggets and they can help you be a better agent. All the best.